So last weekend here where I live, we had our Christmas pageant in the city here, which means, of course, that the most magical time of the year is now upon us to take over our minds and our to-do lists. And of course, that means it is this time to be planning now if you want to run a really successful e-commerce Christmas promotion. Now, personally, as a consumer, as a shopper, I find it really hard to even start thinking about Christmas until the last birthday of the year is over in our household on November the 25th. I'll never forget having an exactly 1 month old baby on Christmas Day, and it will be 18 Christmases ago this year. My son likes to remind me that he will be sharing my champagne with me on Christmas this year. But as a brand owner or as a retailer, hopefully you are already working on your Christmas promotions. But if you're not, you really do want to be planning and implementing in advance if you want to close out the year with a successful holiday sales season. So today on the show, we're going to be diving into all things Christmas marketing and really trying to make sure that you guys are all set up to have the most successful promotion possible. And I want to mention here as well, if you haven't already, make sure you register for my very last workshop of the year, which is actually happening this Friday, the 8th of November. So this is my brand new Christmas promo campaign planning workshop. And if you join me live, you will be able to get my help with a much more detailed campaign strategy so that you can maximize your sales between now and the end of the year. So if you'd like to register for that, you can do so for free by heading to catherinelangman.com/workshop. And we will, of course, include that link in the show notes for today's episode. But without further ado, let's dive in. So for those of you who are in e-commerce or retail of any sort, it doesn't matter if you're wholesaling or if you're running a brick and mortar store or if you are selling online in an e-commerce retail store, this really is the peak time of the year to be selling. Many small businesses selling online, including my clients and in my own businesses, are really thinking about planning and rolling out Christmas marketing already. There are some early access Black Friday campaigns already rolling out. As consumers, we know this is the best time of year to buy online with lots of product launches and promotional deals to be had. Because demand increases so much at this time of year, it can almost feel a little bit like fishing in a barrel. You know, it really is the time of year that you as the business owner gets to generate the bulk of your revenue and profits if you get your campaign strategy right, that is. So as business owners, we need to be organized and we need to get things moving. So as a little bit of a format for today's episode, I'm going to start by sharing some key kind of insights about online shopping behavior that are going to be relevant for you right now. And then we're going to dive into a few really solid tips for success to make sure that you have a super successful Christmas and holiday sales season. So that you can really nail your marketing campaigns and your promotions and just have a fabulous final couple of months of the year. What you do what you do in your business and with your marketing between now and the end of the calendar year. So your ability, that's going to be your ability to capitalize on the increase in consumer demand right now is going to determine how strong you can start off the year in 2025. So let's try and finish the year off as strongly as possible, bank some cashola to set you up for a great new year in business, and of course, to reward you for all of the hard work that you have put in throughout the year. Now, on average, online stores generate nearly 40% of their annual revenue during the holiday season. Last year in 2023, online sales increased 4.3% during the holiday season. That's year on year. And this year, it's predicted that e-commerce revenues will be up between 7 and 9% during that same period, year on year. So pretty amazing opportunity that we have to take advantage of right now. Some insights for you. Social shopping. 2/3 of internet users across all age brackets are using social media at the moment to discover new brands and products and to make purchases. So getting your social media marketing and advertising strategy right is really critical to drive brand discovery, which of course is necessary before you can hope to drive purchases. But of course, with advertising costs increasing at the moment, the right strategy is even more critical if we're to grow profitably. And on that note, there is a bit of a trend happening this year that profitability is decreasing in e-commerce. So despite this massive growth in the online retail sector, profit margins are being squeezed. And there's a number of reasons for this, from facing increased competition, with operational costs going up, with advertising costs going up, which certainly happens at this time of the year. There's still economic pressures pushing brands to offer more discounts as well. So being able to grow and thrive in e-commerce now really does require a much more thoughtful approach to your marketing. Another trend I want to mention here is that sustainable and ethical shopping continues to remain at the forefront of shoppers' minds. Consumers, more and more do want to support brands and businesses that engage in ethical practices. So, you've got to find ways to be able to share that about, what's authentic to your business and brand, of course, but to share that with your audience. Also, customers are spending online more frequently. And stats show that many households are placing orders weekly online on average. Generations Y and X are spending the most, but baby boomers have actually increased their online spending by a bigger proportion than any other generation. So have a think there about who your ideal customers really are. And then, no surprises, I don't think, to anyone. Deal seeking and free shipping continue to be the most influential in terms of incentives to drive conversions, but especially so during the holiday season. So there's been a really enormous swing towards people actually purchasing and checking out of online stores on their mobile device. So mobile commerce is really increasing at a rapid rate. And I would say, as an e-commerce marketing expert, I still see a lot of websites, online stores that don't have a great mobile shopping experience. And there are some common pain points that do cause shoppers to give up trying to buy from a website on their mobile phone. Certainly a checkout experience that has too many clicks from the homepage to getting through the checkout. It's just too hard a lot of the time. But another big one is website page load speeds being just too slow on mobile. And, if you're working on your website on a desktop computer and it loads quickly there, you can't assume that it's going to be fine on mobile. You have to test it separately. Another issue is often unclear images. And I think when it comes to shopping online, especially on your mobile, you really need to be mindful about those images, Obviously, you want them to be really good resolution, so they're not fuzzy or unclear. So if you are trying to speed up your page load speeds and you're compressing images, don't take it to the point where it's fuzzy or unclear. But you also want to be showing multiple different views and even some video. Now, you don't want to go overboard with movement or video because that, again, is going to slow down the page load speed. But being able to easily show, things like front, back, sides, inside, outside, how it works, etc., depending on what it is, of course, is super helpful. And so you really want to make it easy for people to see what they're buying. Another issue that can impact mobile website browsing is your font size and color contrast. So is the text too small to read? It's not just the size of the font either. How legible is it? It might look really pretty, but if it's something like a really fine gray font on a white background or a white on a gray background or something along those lines, or the font that you've chosen is just really fine, thin sort of text, it's going to be too hard for people to read on a mobile and people just give up. It's also not great for accessibility either. So you do need to make sure that you're thinking about all the potential users of your website. But then you want to make sure that your product information isn't too hard to see. So don't make people scroll for hours on their mobile phone to find the right information or to find an add to cart button. It's a very different experience shopping on a mobile phone compared to a desktop computer. So you definitely want to make sure all the most important conversion information is up top, hopefully above the fold, and that all of the content actually fits within the screen. And coming into this peak sales season of the year, you have to anticipate that probably 3/4 of your holiday shoppers are going to be shopping on their mobile phone. So you really don't want to make things difficult for those customers, because you could potentially lose a big chunk of income down to fixable technical issues with your website, right? So don't do that. One of the biggest causes for these problems that I observe is that the business owner, or the person responsible for the website, is only working on it and looking at it on their desktop computer. So anytime that you do make a change on your website, or you're reviewing your website to come up with potential conversion rate optimization ideas, you need to be going through it on mobile. And because it really will be imperative that your website works just as well, if not better, on mobile versus desktop. Another thing that is incredibly important when it comes to providing a really good experience on the mobile version of your website is the menu. And now I don't want to spend too much time talking about that particular topic, because I have actually covered it in a huge amount of detail in a previous podcast episode, which you can go and listen to by going to catherinelangman.com/episode-214. A few more stats and facts that I want to share with you here today. 54% of shoppers state that they discovered new brands on social media and went on to place orders during the holiday sales season. This is looking at last year's stats. So if overall revenue is growing significantly during this year's holiday sales period, we can expect at least that. And whilst we talk about social media trends here, you do need to know that video is well and truly king. Nearly 79% of shoppers discovered new brands and products through watching video reels content and went on to make a purchase decision. So I think for those of you who are really consistent with posting video content on your socials, whether it's reels or stories or both, you probably know this already. You probably see more traffic heading to your website to buy after you post that kind of content. But I also know that many of you find creating video content and creating and sharing it really difficult. You might feel nervous about getting in front of the camera or using apps to create video content. And I'm with you. It's not one of my most favorite pastimes, or it hasn't been in the past. But honestly, the clients of mine who are experiencing the fastest, biggest growth are all finding ways to make and share frequent video content on their social media. And you don't have to be the one in front of the camera. There's a whole lot of other ways of doing it. So if presenting on video is not your bag of chips, then just don't do it, right? But you have to find a way where you can create and share video content. So whether you use other people to create that content for you, such as brand reps or paid content creators, or maybe you focus the camera on the product and that you're demonstrating, and you can add a voiceover later rather than talking to the camera. And you can also use tools like Canva. There are other apps as well, InShot or CapCut, but you can edit videos together and create reels from still images and add, animated elements. So there are multiple ways that you can do it, and you just need to remember that video is super duper important. So the next thing that I want to talk about is an insight around customer service. So your customer service, you do need to anticipate that the requirements or the calls for customer service, or the need for customer service, better way to put it, is going to increase during these peak sales times. And your customer service is not just going to happen on your contact form on your website. You have to be able to respond at the different touch points where people can contact you. So email, phone, live chat, and also DMs on your socials. All of those things, it can feel a little bit difficult to manage when things get busy, particularly when you're having people contact you in all these different channels, but it really is important. And many shoppers will say that, they'll message a business either on social media or on live chat, especially during gift buying and highly promotional or really big spend shopping periods of the year, like we're heading into now, and then go on and buy, right? So many people will be a lot more likely to buy from a business if they can see that they can contact you um, either through instant messaging or some other very easy access point, right? Again, it depends a little bit on your audience. My audience with my skincare brand is a older demographic. They like the phone, but for younger demographics, they're going to like things like instant chat. And, I think to the consumer, it does show that somebody's there and that they're on the ball. And I guess many of us, we were searching on social media while we're researching gift ideas, we're researching product information, we're researching reviews, we're doing all of that on our mobile phone. And so there really is a correlation there with the increase in instant messaging for customer service as well. So anytime your traffic and sales go up, you're going to find that your customer service inquiries go up as well. And so you just need to be prepared for that, whether it means you just need to get a few more hands on deck perhaps at this time of the year, or find somebody whose job it's going to be on your team to handle that kind of stuff, so nobody's just assuming somebody else is doing it or it gets forgotten or missed, right? If you can offer really helpful as well as prompt customer service, this means not using a bot or an AI driven thing. And I do know sometimes you need to use these automated messaging type responses when it's out of hours, but during regular shopping hours, I really do think you need to have a human being there able to help people out so that they can make their purchase decisions. I've certainly done that before. I remember one time earlier in the year, I was looking to try out a different brand of kibble for my dog, who, poor thing, is a little bit of a sensitive soul. He can't eat just anything. And I needed, so because he can't eat just anything, he gets a little bit allergic to some things. I had to make sure I was choosing the right thing. And having the live chat there meant that really helped me to understand the differences in the products and to ensure that I was choosing the right thing. And because I got that live instant help, I made a purchase right then and there. So conversion rates do kind of go up when you're able to do that. Right. So the next insight that I want to talk about is that Christmas shopping has started already. So, year on year, we do see that Christmas shopping is starting earlier in the year. And I actually think I saw Christmas fruit mince tarts on sale 2 weeks ago. So customers are definitely already shopping for Christmas, and it will continue, and it's going to ramp up very, very quickly now, peaking at the end of November and early December. It's going to continue to be strong right up until postage shut-off dates. And I know, we like to have a little bit of a laugh that Easter eggs and hot cross buns start selling on Boxing Day at the supermarket. But at the end of the day, we just need to jump on this demand for gift shop related shopping now. That really is a growing trend. So we are, I think, as consumers, we are a little bit more well trained now to get organized, perhaps except for me, because like I said earlier, psychologically, I just have to wait till after the last birthday in the family. But, as a general rule, as consumers, we're trained now to get organised so that our purchases do arrive with plenty of time to receive, prior to Christmas. Even more so if you are the kind of business that people are buying to send gifts overseas, right? Plus, I know that we are all well trained now to expect some really great deals coming up during November's Black Friday, Cyber Monday promo. So this means that you really need to be rolling out your Christmas marketing and your holiday marketing now, certainly much earlier than in years gone by. Otherwise, you're going to miss the boat. And it also means that your Christmas marketing needs to be sustained over a longer period of time, which I realize is going to be difficult for a lot of people. we noticed a couple of weeks ago there were brands in October talking, releasing their Black Friday offers, and I was just gobsmacked. I'm not suggesting don't roll out a promotion, but it's going to be very difficult to speak about Black Friday for 6 weeks. So, in my opinion, that's a messaging mistake. But it is difficult to sustain talking about things for a long period of time. So I am going to talk about some of the marketing and messaging related strategies in a little bit. So I've got you back there, but in general, you want to think of it in 3 stages. So, you've got your early bird buyers. They're going to want what's new and they want to be organized in advance. So they're not typically your discount oriented shoppers. They're more about, releasing and launching more of the new stuff. Well, that's what they'll respond to more. Then you've got your volume buyers. They're going to be buying in November. They're definitely going to be taking advantage of specials like Click Frenzy and Black Friday. So the Black Friday to Cyber Monday kind of promotional weekend is going to work well, of course. And then your December buyers, like me, tend to get a little bit desperate. They're a little less organized and they will respond really well to things like free express shipping, free gift wrapping, or even paid gift wrapping, gift vouchers, any other ways that you can make life really simple for them is going to be super helpful. Make just how you merchandise your offerings during that period of time. So it's gifts for XYZ customer groups, that sort of thing. But as a overall, just think about your Christmas marketing in those 3 chunks, those 3 stages. So like I said, in a minute, we're going to get to some little bit more specific step-by-steps with regards to your marketing messaging and that sort of thing. But couple more insights. So the next thing that has obviously been a really big trend over the last few years is your Black Friday to Cyber Monday. It's a massive, huge worldwide phenomenon now. And I've spoken about this and blogged about this extensively over the last couple of months. So I'm not going to dive into that promo event here and now. You can certainly, just head to my website, catherinelangman.com, and then, search Black Friday. You'll find heaps of stuff on there. Suffice to say, in countries like Australia and New Zealand, where historically Black Friday was not such a big deal at all, we've seen a huge swing from customers, spending up huge during post-Christmas Boxing Day sales and instead front-ending their big purchases during, before Christmas. So during that Black Friday promo period. So the point here is not that you must do big discounts. You do not have to publish a quote unquote Black Friday promotion if that is not something that resonates with your brand. The point actually is that shoppers are out spending. So they are saving up, they are preparing to buy during that period. And so you want to be out there with some marketing, what is going to resonate with your brand and with your customers. So you really want to have a think about what your customers really want to buy this side of Christmas. Put your best offers together, put some really decent marketing together and, really make a go of it. And you can really go hard and see a very big spike in sales growth during that period of time in November. But then, of course, the key is to be able to sustain your marketing as through this Christmas promotional period beyond that. So you do want to be changing up the marketing messaging. You want to probably be focusing on gifting. Make your campaign look festive. It certainly should look different to whatever you roll out in November. Black Friday, Green Friday, Bright Friday, Click Frenzy, whatever it is, it needs to look different. And that way you can still keep selling right up until Christmas. A couple more insights I want to share with you here. And the next one is really about how much customers really want a smooth online shopping experience. At the end of the day, and look, this doesn't just go for Christmas or the holiday season. This goes for every day of the year when you are running an e-commerce business. But because friction slows shoppers down, issues that shoppers experience aren't always caused by technical issues with the website. So we do need to think about what might be causing friction. So here's what else is important to your Christmas shoppers, or holiday season shoppers. Number one, your delivery time frame is hugely important. We need to be super upfront and clear about delivery time frames, especially, when things get closer and closer to Christmas. Not that everyone who's buying from you is buying a gift per se, but a lot of people will, or they might be going away because, it really is, a holiday time of year as well for a lot of families and a lot of people. So, we need to be mindful of the fact that the volume of parcels from e-commerce shopping is massively increases as well at this time of the year. So delivery timeframes might not be as quick as they might in a slower period of the year. So we do really need to make it obvious to your customers when they need to place their order by if they're going to receive it before Christmas. Your courier or Australia Post, whoever you're using, should be able to tell you that. There's probably cutoff times or there will be cutoff times for regular post and express post, and also for different destinations as well. I'm losing my voice on the show today, so forgive me. Having a sip of water there. But you might, if it's affordable for your brand, you might even consider just upgrading everyone to Express if it is affordable for you, just to make sure that you do have happy customers getting their gifts on time. Whatever you do though, just make it really, really clear so that anyone who's on your website at any part of your website, they don't have to go hunting for that information. You can have it in the announcement banner across the top. You can have it update your shipping policies. You can update the information potentially if you've got a shipping tab on your product pages. Just make it easy to find that information, right? Another thing that's going to be super important to your customers at this time of the year is the cost of shipping. So fast and reliable shipping and having tracking details to know when orders will be delivered is generally more important to most customers, but free shipping is hugely influential during gifting periods. So it can work very, very well as a promotional tactic. Now, I know shipping is a huge cost for e-commerce businesses. I feel it as well. And, so we all want to try and reduce the impact of that cost on our bottom lines. But the statistics at Christmas, gifting shopping behaviour and holiday shopping behaviour, they're really hard to ignore. So, free shipping, it's just such a huge influence when you are buying gifts for other people in particular, right? Because paying for shipping for each gift just adds up. Now, at the end of the day, we all know that not everything is within your control. So shipping and delivery is one thing that's often not always in your control. So just do what you can to try and make it as smooth and reliable as possible. Choose the most reliable shipping options, so not necessarily the cheapest. And, wherever possible, try and build the shipping fees into your costs, your product costs or product pricing. So that, then you can afford to offer free shipping and it's not going to kill your business. So a couple of tips from my own e-commerce experience on this note, the closer you get to Christmas, if you can offer free express shipping, you will easily convert a lot more sales than you would otherwise. It's also worth testing out full price plus free shipping, as that can sometimes outsell discount price plus shipping on top of that at this time of the year, which I know is a bit odd. But, it all adds up the same in the end. So for whatever reason, if that converts better, then do it, So there you go. Now, on the marketing and promotional front, my number one tip for success is absolutely to keep it simple. But I also want to go through some specific tips to help you make your Christmas campaign really stand out and yield some outstanding results. So remember that Christmas is the time of year, like I said earlier, where it pays to be really organized and really well planned ahead of time, not just for your stress levels. Of course, it helps reduce stress levels, but if you can roll out some really well executed marketing, then you will make things, much more successful. You'll convert far more sales than you would otherwise. I reckon that playing Santa Claus or whatever your version of Santa Claus might be in your culture means that you can give your customers that warm and fuzzy holiday feeling. You have the opportunity to do that, by letting them know how very special they are to you. This is about messaging and language, right? And so as much as it is a super noisy time of year, a lot of businesses are rolling out a lot of marketing. So it does get a lot more cluttered in the media landscape, social media, any kind of media landscape. So it does make it a little harder to try and stand out and drive the traffic and sales in your business. But you do also want to take the opportunity to share a message of love and friendship and good health and appreciation, all of that kind of stuff, right? And letting your customers know that you value them as well. So I am a fan of trying to find ways to make your audience feel those warm and fuzzy feelings, as well as at the same time trying to drive those sales in your business. So how do you try and do both? How do you make sure that your marketing stands out to your customers? Because, like I said, it is a very noisy time of year in the media landscape. We're all receiving a lot more marketing and advertising messages at this time of the year. So it is a very highly promotional time of year. People, customers, shoppers, consumers, we're all going to be, we already are seeing lots and lots and lots of marketing messages all over the place. And you do not want to get lost in that festive busyness that our email inbox and our social media news feeds become at this time of the year. So the first thing that you want to do is to review what you did last year. Now, of course, if you didn't do anything last year, then that's a simple task to complete. If you did do something last year, however, however organized or comprehensive it was or wasn't, try and review it, figure out what worked, what didn't, and how you can learn from and improve on last year's efforts. I would give you a hot tip here. This year, don't leave that step off. Try and do it as soon as you finish your promotion so that you don't have to try and remember this time next year, because it's very easy to forget this stuff. But the next thing that I would recommend is trying to research a little bit about what your competitors are or might be doing. They might not be doing anything yet, but they might be. And if possible, try and remember what they did last year. You might have some historic emails that you could look up. You could even search back on their social channels and just see what they were putting out last year. Because you've got to remember that other businesses are selling to the same customers as you are. So what are they likely to do this year, if you can take a guess at that? Of course, it's all well and good to crystal ball this, but it's just trying to get a lay of the land. But, just a general review of your competitors, what are their strengths and weaknesses, trying to, find your own way in that competitive landscape to be able to take advantage of whatever opportunities they are and to do things better as well than your competitors. And that's going to help you to really stand out to your customer. But next, you really want to try and research what your ideal customers are spending their money on this year for Black Friday, for Christmas, for the holiday season. Try and look at things like product categories that they might be buying, as well as the purpose of their purchases. Is it gifting? Is it for themselves? And then look strategy-wise, what are the offers that they're responding to? How can you maximize the average order value of those purchases, and how you might be able to pitch those sorts of things as gifts and bundles and things like that. Something you may have already noticed, but at this time of the year, there are a lot more window shoppers around as people start waiting for deals to come out. So you also want to keep an eye on your abandoned carts. And if you do have a wish list function on your website, you can keep an eye on that as well. I don't think it's any secret that many shoppers, many customers shopping online, we leave our wish lists unfulfilled and we abandon our shopping carts. That's pretty normal online shopping behavior, but you don't want to ignore these sorts of customers. They've already demonstrated to you that they want these products. So as you head into this period of time, back end of the year, you can start retargeting them with your marketing, with your emails, with your advertising, and you can, really do a better job of putting the right offer in front of them at the right time. And in particular, send those cart abandoned peeps a tailored email sequence when your promo offers are available. Next thing that I want to mention is an idea to just help you stand out with your festive or your gifting promotional content. So something that I've had a lot of fun with in the past, and I use this in different variations and different guises, is something like a 12 Days of Christmas or an Advent calendar style promotional campaign. So this would definitely have been the most lucrative Christmas campaign that I have run in the past. Now, in my own business, it may not be the right thing for you, but this sort of thing might work for your business. So have a think about, if it would be a relevant strategy for your product, your type of products. But basically, the way it works is that through the promotional period, you are sending out an email every day with a different daily offer. And I like to have a landing page where, initially all of the, um, days are blocked out, or it looks like a little gift or something like that. And then each day that is the day's offer or the day's deal is revealed or it's opened up, right? So, and when I say offer, it doesn't have to be a discount per se. I'm just saying offer because you are inviting somebody to come and buy. But, it might be featuring new products, or it could be gift sets or bundles, or it could be incentives. It could be gifts with purchase. It could be a range of different things, right? But basically what this does is it gives you the chance to mix up your offers to suit different needs, interests, price points, to feature different sorts of products or bundles to suit you different recipients as well. It could be like gifts for 5-year-old girls, gifts for 5-year-old boys, or whoever your audience is, right? So think about what you sell in your range, how people might try to find the perfect gift for their loved ones, and how you could appeal to that in your marketing. As well as, the other benefit of doing this kind of a engaging activity is that it does keep people excited and coming back to take another look. It encourages a lot of interaction with your customers and potential customers. You can often see customers buying multiple times. And it also has the added benefit of giving you a really good excuse to email daily, which I know can frighten some people, but I don't want you to be scared. It's not like everyone's going to see every single email that you send. But then you're not actually going to be irritating people like you might be afraid of, because you're not just putting the same thing in the email each day. It's always different. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of inspiration, and please make it your own, of course, whatever makes sense for your brand, your audience, or of course your culture if you don't celebrate Christmas. So the next idea I want to share with you, or tip rather, few of you might have seen this being spoken about online a bit already, is to segment your email list before you send. And if you're using Klaviyo, like we love to use Klaviyo, this is going to be super, super easy. But basically what you're doing is not treating all contacts on your email list equally. So you can send way more frequently to your more engaged contacts or the people who buy from you more frequently, and then maybe a little bit less frequently to the less engaged or lapsed customers. And of course, you can integrate those segments of your list to your Facebook and Google ads as well, so that you have those audiences to advertise to. Another tip I want to share with you is to make your promo campaign look and feel festive, so it doesn't look like your business as usual content. Now, I used to absolutely love pulling together Christmas campaigns or the holiday campaigns. This is not something that I would only do during that period of the year, but it is something that I did love to do at that time of the year. And that's to do fun things like designing limited edition festive themed products, and then doing photo shoots that were festive themed as well. And then you get to use, those sorts of design elements in all of your content, in videos, animated GIFs, email template designs, all the images that you share on email, on your website, on social media. And so at the end of the day, you can have a lot of fun with your Christmas promotional campaign content, or your holiday season content, or, it could be back to school content in the new year. But, basically you can go out, be a little bit more out there and different than you might dare to be during the rest of the year in your business as usual marketing. And the point really is so that you are, there's 2 points here. First of all, that you do look different from your business as usual, so your audience don't see they don't catch a glimpse of this promo and think it's something they've seen before. We want people to have the reaction that this is something new and different. But secondly, by creating the original content, it means that you have something different to what everyone else is doing, all the other businesses and all your competitors. So you don't want to just go to Canva and grab the first kind of overlay or graphic that you see to make, like a tinsel graphic or a star graphic or whatever, because that's probably what everyone else is going to look like. And then you are not going to stand out to your audience at all. So, you don't want to just look like the next brand, because that's going to just make it really hard for you to attract and engage with your audience and help them to connect with you and to buy from you over the alternatives. So you want to try and do something that is your own and try and make it a little bit fun. Now, all of this might sound like a lot of work, and it is, although it also has the potential to really produce some spectacular results for you to close out the year in a very strong position. How you ultimately feel in your business in February, how much money you have in the bank when it's the lowest revenue month in the e-commerce year in the new year, really depends entirely on what you do between now and the end of this year. Now, if you would like some help to, get a more specific plan for your business, or to implement this with the least amount of trial and error or fly by the seat of your pants induced stress, if you want, the help to bypass all of that heartache, confusion, and weeks of figuring things out alone, not to mention possibly the sunk time and cost that comes from trying to figure it out alone or from free online information. Basically, if you'd like some help to finish this year strong, achieve that revenue target that you might have for yourself for the end of the year, I and my team, we would really love to help you out, help you implement a really personalized marketing and promotional strategy tailored to your brand. That's how we work with clients in our coaching program as well as in our agency. So if that sounds a little bit interesting and you'd like to explore that, all you need to do is just book in a strategy session with us. So you can find that by going to catherinelangman.com, and there's a work with me page on there. We'll also pop the links here on the podcast show notes page as well. Hopefully a few of you will take all of the ideas and inspiration from today's episode, really have a think about how you're going to approach it yourself in your business. Hopefully all of you have the best success you possibly can to close out the year strong. And I look forward to sharing in some of those excitements and successes with you. That's it from me for today's episode. I look forward to being with you again on the show next week. Bye for now.